Yes,
Hello
and you're
everyone.
live.
Cool. Hello everyone. My name is Sota Watanabe, founder of Astar Network, and thank you very much for joining today. And we have Martin and Rams. So could you introduce yourself?
Yes, let me start. Hi, everybody. Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon. So, hi, my name is Martin. I'm the head of ecosystem development. I'm glad to be here on this podcast. So, thank you, guys.
Good morning, good night, everybody. My name is Rams. I'm the community growth lead here at Astar Network. I'm happy to be here today in our last crowdcast of the year, and hopefully we all learn some new things about Astar and some celebrate some of the old things. Happy to be here.
Awesome. Awesome. So actually the Cloudcast updated the UI and the UX. So this is our first time to use the new UX. So probably there might be a mistake, but it should be okay. And today I'm going to speak about our achievements in 2022 and what's coming in 2023. And we're gonna include some of the announcements during my presentation. So let me share my screen. Cool. Can you see my screen? Martin and Rams, can
Yes,
you
all
see my
good.
screen?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yep. So this is a topic we are going to cover today. So I'm gonna share about our achievements in 2022 and our strategy in 2023. And we are going to release new website and Astar's roadmap, and which is called StarMap. And after that, we're gonna have a Q&A. So if you have any question, feel free to ask us on Crowdcast. So let's go. We're gonna cover the achievements. Our ecosystem is getting bigger and bigger, and we are super excited to have a lot of the people and a lot of the wallet address. The wallet means the address which has balance. And today we have a more than 470k thousand addresses on a star. And I think this is the biggest number in the Polkadot ecosystem. So yeah, super excited to see the community expansion. And second one is the number of the transaction. And we do have 6,300,000 transaction today, which is also the highest number of the transaction in the Polkadot ecosystem, which means a lot of the people are using Astar Network. And we do have roughly 20 DeFis and also more than 20 NFT project right now. So in coming months, we're gonna keep expanding our ecosystem and try to bring big enterprises to Asta Network. Yeah, this is also our achievements. Recently, we have already deployed a DApp staking version to Portal. So our UI and the UX became much better right now. And we released a Swanky version 1. Swanky is all-in-one toolings for WebAssembly smart contract. And I think WebAssembly is the future of the smart contract, as Gavin said. But EVM is important right now. So we are supporting EVM, and we are going to support WebAssembly in quarter one if everything goes well. And then we're gonna support WebAssembly and EVM and make them by interactive. And XVM SDK is announced during the Sub-Zero Summit last week, I think 2 weeks ago. And XVM stands for Cross Virtual Machine. So we're gonna have EVM and also WebAssembly. And people can deploy smart contract on EVM, and people can deploy smart contract on WebAssembly. And people can call EVM smart contract from WebAssembly environment and WebAssembly smart contract from EVM environment. This is called XVM. I think this is a little bit technical, so I would like to use analogy. EVM is Windows because a lot of the people are using Windows, but technically macOS is more sophisticated, right? So macOS is WebAssembly. Everyone is using EVM, but WebAssembly is more sophisticated. than EVM. So what we would like to do is to support not only Windows OS, but also Mac OS. So right now in the Polkadot ecosystem, um, smart contract parachain support EVM. But what actually we are doing is making EVM environment on the top of WebAssembly. So if I use, Mac OS Windows example, so what we are doing right now is making Windows environment on the top of Mac OS, and then using application on the top of Windows environment. So this is very inefficient. So what we have to do is to create a WebAssembly environment in a Polkadot ecosystem, so that people can deploy WebAssembly more efficient, more sophisticated smart contract on Astar. And the great thing is a lot of the languages can be compiled to WebAssembly environment. So if we support WebAssembly, people can write Rust-based smart contract or Go-based smart contract or maybe JavaScript, TypeScript, and so on. So this is the reason why we are very bullish about WebAssembly. And light client. A light client is super important because you don't need to run full nodes to participate in a Astar network, to interact with Astar network blockchain. So this is really needed for more decentralized network. And also Ink. Ink is the smart contract language made by Parity. And this is very similar to Rust language. So Limac, which is NFT standard in Ink, will be deployed on Astar in December. And we are still 10 months or 11 months baby, but we have already supported XCM, Swanky, dApp staking portal version 2, XVM, Light clients, Limac, and so on. So our team is getting bigger and bigger, but the network is getting more efficient and efficient right now. And we also announced the Shiden DAO. So Asta is going to be a decentralized autonomous organization. So Shiden is the environment to test it out. And today we are going to release new web page, and Ramsey is going to explain what's coming next. And this is the featured updates. Candy Girl was really successful. So Candy Girl is the contents made by Yoshitaka Amano. He is the creator and designer of the Final Fantasy. And since he is really legend in Japan, I'm also speaking with legendary artists and people in Japan. And because Candy Girl is very successful, I think other IP will be following. And by the end of 2023, we would like to invite a lot of the great Japanese IP like manga, anime, and so on. And yeah, Alchemy supported Astar as the first Polkadot parachain, which is also huge. And do not forget our partnership with NTT Docomo. NTT Docomo is the largest mobile operator in Japan. Actually, the 30% of the Japanese people are using NTT Docomo. And they announced 4 billion investment into Web3. So we are going to create Web3 use cases together with Docomo. And this is the first partnership with the big Japanese enterprise. But I'm also speaking with really big enterprises in Japan, and I think something can be announced in 1 or 2 months if everything goes well. So this is I'm super glad to work with the big enterprises, especially in Japan. Also, we also had a partnership with local cities of Japan, the local government, like Fukuoka Prefecture or Sendai Prefecture. So we would like to make huge impact from Japan. So my plan in 2023 is to make the layer one blockchain backed by Japan. But 2024, by leveraging our presence in Japan, we're going to create strong presence in the US and in Europe. Yep, 2023 strategies. There are a lot, but the important things is WebAssembly smart contract. So once we support WebAssembly smart contract, we can support not only Ethereum project, but also more Polkadot general, native project, and we can support Solana based project and Nia based project and so on. So that's why we are super excited to support WebAssembly. XCM, XVM. XCM is really important for the Polkadot ecosystem because without XCM, I mean interaction with other parachains, Astar's capability is pretty limited. So we have to push XCM and XVM in a Polkadot ecosystem. And regarding WebAssembly and the XCM, I think Polkadot in a Polkadot ecosystem, smart contract parachains are leading the ecosystem, like Moonbeam or Astar or other chains. But the problem is 100% of the application on the top of Astar or Moonbeam are EVM. So in this sense, we are reproducing something which Ethereum can do, right? So we have to make something unique, which only Polkadot can do, or which only Astar can do. And this is the reason WebAssembly and XCM are really important for us. So in 2023, especially Q1 and Q2, we would like to make very unique use cases, which only Astar Network can do. Third one is Japan. So Astar Network is the definitely leading layer 1 blockchain in Japan. And our company is selected one of the 100 promising Japanese startup in 2023. Not only in a Web3 space, but also entire startup ecosystem. So this is very excited. And this is my first announcement, and we are going to create Startail Labs. So this is going to be a huge announcement next year. But this is kind of like a soft announcement. Startail Lab is the company for Astar Network. And let's say in an Ethereum ecosystem, there is Ethereum Foundation and consensus. In a Polkadot ecosystem, there are Web3 Foundation and Parity Technologies. And we are going to create Startail Lab, which is like consensus or parity for Astar. So by creating Startail Labs, we are going to create infrastructure such as wallet, and we are going to create dApps such as lending, NFT, marketplaces, and so on in WebAssembly environment. And we are going to bring a lot of the big enterprise, Japanese enterprise to Astar. So by setting up Startail Lab, it's going to be much easier to work with legendary companies in Japan. Because Astar Foundation is going to be DAO. So it means liquidated in the future. But if we have a company, that make much easier to work with them. And hiring. So we have roughly 40 people right now. But in 2023 and 2024, we would like to make our company double or triple. So we are looking for talented people. And if you are interested in working with us, feel free to reach out to me and reach out to the team. WebAssembly Bounty. We are going to this is also the first announcement. We are going to collaborate with Parity and the ecosystem, and we are going to push Inc. and WebAssembly smart contract together with Parity and also Polkadot ecosystem. I'm creating the treasury proposal to secure funding for WebAssembly developments. And this is going to be roughly around 5 million budget. So by using this budget, we are going to push WebAssembly implementation in the Polkadot ecosystem. And we will be recognized as the leading smart contract chain in the Polkadot ecosystem. And in the Astar Network ecosystem, we would like to support teams building WebAssembly smart contract templates. And the goal of Astar Network by Q2 is to become the smart contract hub on Polkadot. If we could support WebAssembly smart contract, and if we could support Ethereum virtual machine smart contract, I think we can make it. And right now, people are comparing Astar with Akara or comparing Astar with Moonbeam. But by the end of 2023, we would like to be compared with NIA or compared with other emerging layer 1 blockchain. So Polkadot ecosystem is the first step for us. But we are going to, use Polkadot ecosystem, but we will be recognized as the emerging chain in 2023. Cool. So Ramsey is going to talk about new web page and our milestones.
Thank you, Sota.
Yep.
I'll share my screen as well. Okay. So, as Sota-san said, we have a lot of emerging companies and enterprises, some legendary. I think maybe a lot of you can make a connection with what Japan means and the industries that are there. So with this kind of new outlook and connections that we're making, we also have to level up many of our other features. So we're introducing a new website and a star map. So I'll explain a bit about the website first and the star map, and then I'll show you the website itself. This new website will take a new professional, bold new look. Okay, it's ready for the next phase of Astar. So when we're competing with these other layer 1 companies and blockchains that exist out there, like Near and Cosmos, and other layer 1s on Cosmos, we now will have a more competitive edge with a new website. So this is all preparing us for a great 2023 year. And again, sometimes first impressions is the only impression that you might have. So being looking good at the first get-go is important. The website is tailored to 4 major parts of our ecosystem. So our developer page, our community page, our star map, which we'll feature today, and also our Astar Japan lab. So these pages are dedicated for each of these sectors. Developers will be able to find all the tooling, all the docs, and all the other links that may be needed to start building on Astar or connecting to it as well. Our community, we're going to shine a light on all of our community members, and shout out to everyone out here right now and many of you OGs who are here. This is a great milestone for us as we have all grown and seen what the website was. Now we're ready for the new website. So we're also going to feature the star map, which is our version of a roadmap, and the Astar Japan lab, where you'll see many of the dedicated channels and links for those cooperating companies and teams. So look forward to that. So our star map, this is again our unique take on a roadmap. So Astar is not just innovating with the technology it's building, it's also innovating in the classical things that already exist in crypto and blockchain that we're used to. So we're used to a roadmap. Now we're going to turn it on its edge. We're actually going to go up in the sky and make it a star map. So our star map you'll be able to follow our updates and all the features that we're incorporating in real time. So here's a little preview of it. We're going to walk through it briefly. It's going to be divided in 4 quarters. And this is a more interactive way to keeping our user base, up to date with what's happening and how close we are to a new update. Also, we added an element of surprise, and I'll explain that in a moment. So basically on this star map, you'll be seeing all the updates and features throughout the whole year. You have a little Astar ship that indicates how close we are to a new update. You'll see some of these bright stars. Those are going to be significant because that's going to be an update or feature that we're approaching. We call those discoveries. Okay. And then each quarter, as you have already sort of seen, is represented by a nebula. And they all have a unique name. So it's thematic in the sense that the features that are being shown and discovered are thematic to the name of the nebula. And our first nebula is called the Reborn Nebula. So we're reborn, a rebirth of the whole Astar ecosystem, a new take, because we are at a new level in our life. As Sota said, we're only 1 year old. Now we're moving on to year 2. So each nebula will contain a variety of updates and features that will make our network stronger. So we're going to also show briefly what features and updates and discoveries will be made in this blurb. So you can read on. The update is subject to change, of course. We might add or change some things. So check in every once in a while to see where the rocket ship is, the Astar ship, and what updates we discovered. So let me show you a preview of the website.
And also, this is what I would like to cover briefly. Could you go back again a little bit?
Sorry, there we go.
Yeah, thank you very much. So this is what I'm going to cover a little bit. So we are going to support WebAssembly, which is super important update for us to make a huge difference, not only in a Polkadot ecosystem, but also in an entire blockchain ecosystem. And next page. And we're gonna support WebAssembly, and you can consider this as Astar 2.0. So this is coming into in Q1 2023. It's not 22, 23. Yep.
Awesome.
Thank you, Rams. And we can go to a web page.
Perfect. One moment, please. So our web page we're super proud about as well. It's going to be the entryway to many of the companies. It's the first thing many new companies will see as well. So in a sense, you could all visit it at astar.network, same domain name. Feel free to scroll around. We'll be updating this consistently. And I'll jump right to the star map as well. So a fresh, bold take for the new year. And here's our star map, where you'll be able to click on each star to see what discovery is about to be made. Some of the discoveries are going to be large innovations as well, as they are large undertakings right now for the team. So bear with us and have patience as we go and discover all these new updates and features throughout our roadmap. You'll be able also to learn more once we discover it by clicking on these links. So this would be a live, living star map with the Astar ship journeying all the way down through the Growth Nebula, the Expansion Nebula, and finally the Shine Nebula, one of the quarters we look forward to around this time next year. So stay tuned for all the updates on there. Feel free to check out the website as well. If you're a developer, jump into the GitHub, the docs, or the Discord to ask any of your questions. And as always, you can launch our portal application right from the top right. So we hope you enjoy it.
Yes, and thank you, Rams. I think we have like one slide left now regarding those NFTs that were promised as well.
Yes. And so moving on to the slides again. Oops, sorry. When it comes to the website and the star map, we'll be giving out evolving NFTs. And as Sota was referring to earlier on in the slide, we created a remark on ink. So these, as many of you know, sorry, I don't know. As many of you know, these types of NFTs are they could be like NFTs 2.0s. So we could have more features and do more things with them, not just artistically, but in many other tech savvy ways. So please be ready. Many of you submitted your native address. We'll be airdropping these NFTs to you, and more information will be shared in January. Your NFT, as we journey through the nebulas, they would be evolving as we update the network. So you could also check on your NFTs to see if they've changed while we've updated and added features to Astar. So in a way, it's a dual way of keeping up to date with Astar and everything that's happening.
Thank you. Let me get everyone to stage. Okay, cool. Thanks a lot for your overview about the website. Thanks a lot, Sota, for giving like a very clear focus what we are focusing on in 2023. I think I'm very excited about what to come, and I'm sure that there will be much more as well coming as well later on. So check out our new website, check out our Twitter, check out all the announcements that we will have, and then later on we will start giving out more and more, as I said, evolving NFTs, and your NFTs will be evolving accordingly of the updates coming as well to Rasta. Now we have our Q&A session. Our Q&A session are questions that are asked by our community. If you still have one question, if you go to the right of your screen, you see like a little box with a question mark. That's the Q&A section. So the moment you press on this, you can ask a question below. And the moment you ask a question, we will answer this now during this Q&A session. I will be moderating, and Sota and Rams and I will be answering most of all of the questions. Let me go with the first one. This got yeah, I will read it before, and then Sota, you can answer this one, and I will also add my feedback as well. So Sota, you promised that Lock Drop 3 will be the most profitable event for occurring a Plasm token, but in fact the first two Lock Drops were the most profitable. Is it very similar to the deception of the community in the fair distribution of tokens at the start? Can you explain why this
Yeah,
is?
first of all, I think Lock Drop is very different way from other projects. So generally, other project never, never do lock drops, right? Lock drop is simply a airdrop, right? And the I don't like the like a profitable or something. We distributed token for free because we value community, right? Generally, a project raise fund from community, so people pay and purchase token. But we distributed our tokens through Lock Drop, meaning we have never raised even 1 cent from community. So early people can get our token, and everyone is profitable, right?
Yes,
So in this way, Lock Drop is very fair, and we value community.
yes, and it's
If you
also
don't like,
more.
yes, sorry. If you don't like airdrop, just purchase another token.
Indeed, everything was for free. So in case you have like, yeah, basically free money in this case, if you wanted to say it like this. So thank you for your question. The next one, what is Commonwealth Labs and Web Technology doing for US adoption?
So we decided to make a strong presence in the US by ourselves because we raised 25 million led by Polychain, Coinbase, and some of the other American companies. So hiring people by ourselves and make our US team bigger is quicker than making a partnership with Commonwealth Lab. So right now our US team is getting bigger and bigger, and we have roughly 8 people or 7 or 8 people in the US time zone, and the team is getting bigger and bigger right now. So we are fully distributed company, 10 people in Asia, 15 people in 50 or 16 people in Europe, and 10 people in the US, roughly 10 people in the US. And Ramsey is in the US time zone. So yeah, what do you think about our US adoption, Rams?
I think it's going smoothly. We're consistently onboarding new US members in different time zones as well. And that gives us a greater reach, as well as allows us to attend more conferences, as some of our biz devs have been able to attend and will be attending more. So representation in these big conferences is important, and people hiring talented, knowledgeable, and experienced people like we have been and Sota and the team has been is important because they represent and can communicate and connect faster. And that all helps us in general. And it's helping us in the US, especially with the metrics here.
Yeah, and I think entering the US is really difficult if we don't have sufficient tracking records. So that's why I'm really focusing on the Japanese market right now, and I'm in Japan right now, and speaking with a really big company here, and like a global brands. So by inviting them to the Astar Network ecosystem, that makes much easier for us to enter the US market because we do have a tracking records with global companies. Um, yeah. So to make long story short, we are focusing on enterprise partnership, and we would like to be recognized as the like Polygon in India is going to be Asta in Japan. So this is the very easy analogy. In 2023, ideally quarter one and or quarter two, um, I can deliver something big, and after that we're gonna focus more on the US.
Thank you. Another question. Let me give this on to Rams. Will there be more marketing activities in the future? The Star community needs more popularity.
Yes, the answer is an obvious yes. And the reason is it can be bringing it back to what Sota was saying, because we're linking up with big companies. We're not going to announce any today, obviously, but Sota said 1 or 2 months, you'll be hearing a lot more. We need to market these sort of events and these partnerships and these agreements. NTT Docomo was one of the biggest ones, as you know, the 4th largest company in Japan. Expect that kind of level of announcement with the marketing that comes with it. So it's natural for us to use this strategy of being the biggest blockchain and the go-to blockchain in Japan, and then expand. Using that strategy and then marketing around that is necessary, and it's going to happen. So yes, please expect more marketing. Hence, we're leveling up everything we have here for this incoming wave that already has begun. So yes.
Thank you. Okay, and next one. Do you have any plans for making more use cases for Star token on EVM chain, something like liquid staking or even dApp staking? I think let me answer this question.
Martin. Yeah.
Yes, I think regarding use cases for the Star token on EVM chain, I think that's the most alive environment at the moment. So I would say, of course, there's a lot of use cases going on. We do have a liquid staking as well. If you haven't heard about Algem, please go and check out Algem. They are doing great things. They will soon release as well a very cool NFT project. So keep following them. And regarding dApp staking, it's currently possible to do through Algem dApp staking with your EVM wallet. So please check out dApp Radar as well if you want to know more about upcoming projects launching on our EVM. Then we go to the next one. Which parachain will you reach with XCM? Okay, so let me also answer this one. So regarding XCM, like Sota mentioned in our focus area for 2023, one of them is XCM. XCM, we want to make sure that XCM is used as it should be, meaning that it needs to bring value to our ecosystem. We do not just open up channel to open up a channel. We also want to open up a channel with another parachain that offers a unique proof of concept or offering a use case that we can do with them together. So we will soon release as well the auto staking with Turing with Oak Network, meaning that a user can subscribe to Oak Network and then do auto claiming for the dApp staking rewards. We are currently as well working very closely with Father Network for the Fed contract. Soon as well will we have a proof of concept going out there as well with Crust. Everything is as well almost ready to go live. We are now as well talking with Manta, who are doing the recently launched their privacy parachain as well. So, and as well, we have open channel Moonbeam, talking with projects on Moonbeam to utilize our ecosystem as well. So, which parachains we will focus on those that can bring value to our ecosystem, and we will open up those and add them to our network. Next one. Something for you, Sota. Astar Network development in Japan and US is growing nicely. Do you have a specific plan for Europe too, especially with MiCA regulations coming in the future?
That's a very
Nothing that
nice
like
question. I think it depends on Martin.
we have a huge team here in Europe and we go to as many events as possible. We do like local events as well in Europe. So yes, Europe is something that we
Yeah,
highly put in
but
our as well.
yeah, I think focus is very important. So right now I'm focusing on Japan, and the luckily Japan is the third largest country in the world, and the Web3 is getting bigger and bigger here. The government made Web3 as a national strategy, and I'm also speaking with the government right now. Last week I talked with the Minister of Economics, and next month I'm going to speak with the Minister of the Finance of the Japanese government. So I'm going to push the Web3 in Japan. And the big company are really interested in Web3. Um, I wish I could announce some of the big name here, but it's under the NDA. So yeah, expect
Yes,
something
and regarding
in
and
months.
regarding MiCA, yeah, we are all in on the regulation as well for crypto industry and everything that can help blockchain industry, crypto industry regarding regulation. We are all, yeah, we are behind this. So if this, we all, that's why we are as well very great in Japan because we are fully regulated. We are completely set there. We have our papers as well ready for the US or are ready. So regarding regulation, we put high enough values, and um, I agree that this is very important as well to scale blockchain in general. Okay. Another question for you. So I see it's the same guy, GS Fishing. Thanks for um, sending all those questions. How will the US treat a Star token now that DOT is considered software, not security? I feel since Astar did not have any ICO, we can consider as
Yeah.
commodity, not security.
Thank you very much for the question. And I think Polkadot token, dot token is not considered as security. So I think Asta has higher chance to be considered non-security. But this is something the U.S. government is going to decide. And we have never done ICO, and we have never raised even 1 cent from the community. So the only financial investor for us is institutional investor. So I think we are the better position than other cryptocurrencies. And also in Japan, we are already recognized, declared the cryptocurrency not security officially by the government. So I think this helps us too, Asta too, I guess.
Okay, thank you. And next one, what are the advantages of deploying a WASM program on an Astar chain? Will the cost be lower because we won't need AWS? Will the code be verifiable? And will it be able to carry NFT images? Anyone here wants to go for it? Otherwise, I will.
Yeah, you can.
Okay, the advantages of deploying a WASM program. So in this case, you are talking about a software, not about smart contracts. So if you are talking about WASM smart contracts, deploying on us makes total sense because we support all the toolings. We have the toolings available. We even have smart contract verification ready the moment Inc. 4.0 is coming out, like we had in the box before in the focus area for 2023. Inc. 4.0 is one of the major changes that will come in the Q1 next year, and this will give a lot of extra features to the Inc. smart contracts. We got as well regarding verifying smart contracts. In your case, you're talking about WASM software or programs itself, not related to blockchain in this general. So I think I'm not sure if I can answer that question correctly in this case. Thank you. And next one for you, Sota. When on-chain governance will be open for community?
We are doing experiments on Shiden right now. So once we have done sufficient experiments, I think we are ready to open the on-chain governance on Astar. But we are taking progressive decentralization approach. So if we make 100% decentralized on-chain governance right now, I think our ecosystem will be slowed down. So it is very important for us to decide when to implement on-chain governance.
Yes. And follow our star map. Maybe it is somewhere in one of the stars in the next year. So follow that. Another question. Do you happen to plan to jump out of the Polkadot ecosystem at one point? Of course not, because we are using the foundation of substrate framework on Polkadot. Jumping out will lose everything that we are currently building. So happen to plan to jump out? Absolutely not. So we will stay here together with Polkadot. What's the difference between being employed by the Astar DAO and the Startail or the Startail Labs? You're muted, Sota.
Yeah, okay, I can answer the question. So this is the being employed by Astar DAO in Star. Yeah, not Star Tail, Star Tail, Star and Tail, Star's story. Yeah, Astar Foundation is non-profit organization for common goods, right? So we are implementing basic function under the open source license, and we are going to foundation is going to become DAO, right? So the foundation will be liquidated, closed in year, let's say in 5 years or something like that, and if we close our entity, a big company cannot have a partnership with Asta Foundation because Asta Foundation will be closed in the future. So that's why we gonna make Startail Lab. And Startail Lab is going to have a partnership with big companies, not only in Japan but also in the US. And also, I think to bootstrap our ecosystem, we have to push our ecosystem by ourselves. So we are going to create, let's say, dApps, maybe lending, maybe NFT marketplace, maybe some of the DeFi use cases. In the we're gonna make blue chip project by Startail Lab. So this is also the purpose of the Startail entity.
Okay, thank you. Another one, I think you are the only one that can answer this one, Sota. How will things improve with the establishment of K3?
Oh yeah, Hakodo is the second largest advertisement agency company in Japan, and which is the one of the biggest company in Japan as well. And we created a joint venture together with Hakodo, actually between Hakodo and me. So Hakodo, their client is almost 100% of the big company in Japan is Hakodo's client. They have a lot of the business pipeline. In the Hakodo Key3 is going to organize hackathon because a lot of the big company would like to do something about Web3, but they don't know how to do that. So hackathon is the entry point for the big company. So let's say I want to make a example, but I cannot disclose the name we are speaking with right now. So, but we are speaking with really amazing company. So, yeah, please expect good news from Hakodo Q3.
Okay. Thank you. And let's go to the final, let's say, two questions, and then we can wrap things up. There are still questions in the question box. I will answer them later on in text. So let me just pick something out. There's really a few applications on development on the Shiden network at the expectation of using it as a canary network. Do you have planned to make something out of it? Regarding this, I think if you look into it, we already created the Shiden DAO. This is the first step of doing more with Shiden network. Why is this? It's mainly because we want as well to educate developers on using Shiden. If you are building out innovation and you really want feedback from community, a canary network is the best place to start with this. There's a huge DJ community on Kusama, and why not use that community to really test your project and to get feedback from your community? Building it then on Shiden will give you that feedback and will give you the opportunity to start building out a community before thinking about going to like a more mainnet or more stable version as Astar. So see it more as a canary network where you can really test out and be there for the frontier of innovation, testing everything out, working on it with your community before shipping it out on a mainnet like Astar. So we have high hopes for Shiden, and this is something that we do value a lot in our team. And we have people in our team who are focusing on Shiden, like Hoon, Rams, me, and then we also have like Mario as well, who really like Shiden as like a canary network to really test out new innovations. That's this one, and then we go to the last question. Let me just check. Let me take this one. Oh, that's the wrong window. Okay. As adoption grew exponentially for Astar in the future, can Astar progress transaction fast enough, or will there be a need of layer 2 like CQ rollup? Any updates regarding CQ rollup? Anyone want to take this on? Otherwise, I will.
Yeah, please.
Okay, so yes, so now we are connected to Polkadot. As you know, Polkadot relay chain is built as being like a sharded network, meaning that there's already a scalable solution as a parachain for us on the relay chain. Is there currently need of a layer 2? No, there's currently no need on our network to have a layer 2 solution available. But as you may see in our Web3 grants as well, we already received a couple of Web3 grants from the foundation regarding offering layer 2 solutions. And this is still something that we have in our, let me say, in the basement. So the moment we need it, we go and get it in the basement and we work further on it and we deploy it on Astar. So we have solutions ready, like the research phase is done, and we have them ready to roll out when needed. So for now, no need for it, but the moment we feel there is a need, we will and get them and we will use them as well in our ecosystem. Thank you. I think we have all the questions now answered. There are still a few one left, but I will answer them like in the comment section. So to end things up, I would like to give Sota and Rams the final closing speech. So maybe you, Rams, can say something to close your end.
Yes. We want to thank everybody in the community. We have been growing at an amazing rate. And a lot of the support that you're lending us, as well as in being involved with these calls, for example, this crowdcast and the community calls that we have, we thank you. Also, for all the developers and tech-minded folks out there, if you're interested in any aspect of blockchain, please join our Discord. Feel free to tag any of the ambassadors or any directly with Sota, Martin, myself, and ask any questions. There's no dumb questions, and we're here to help with any endeavor that you want to jump into. You might just be useful in any kind of way, especially with diverse skills. So just let us know what you're interested in. So thanks again, everybody, for joining today. And I'm looking forward to 2023 with lots of big news, and follow our star map so you can stay up to date.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much for joining today. I think 2023 is the most important year for us, not only Astar, but also Polkadot. So we're going to do our best. And what we would like to do is to be recognized as an emerging chain outside of the Polkadot ecosystem. So we are focusing on Japan and also WebAssembly. Our team is getting bigger and bigger, and we would like to hire the best talent in the market. So if you are interested in working with us, feel free to contact us. Yep, we are going to make it. Thank you very much.
Thank you and have a great holiday.